And what's happening here in Canada. Let's spare a thought for those living in Canada. Hey, look, it's a piece of crap. Canada rolls out social credit system. Non-compliant citizens will have bank accounts frozen. And we made a video 3 days before they froze the bank accounts in Canada because we were warning people, or we were telling people of a runoff on the monetary system. They were organizing to remove the money. So 2 days before they froze the accounts, I made a video about them. They may be freezing accounts. People will be going to banks and withdrawing their money because the Yellow Vest movement was already doing it. And they were organizing that and over in Europe at the time. And during this protest, they were in Canada already organizing to withdraw their money on a certain day. And the governments got nervous and they froze everybody's bank accounts that donated or was involved so they could single them out and punish them and show the world or show the people of Canada how the governments can get in and freeze you and single-handedly single you out from the rest of the herd and get you, right? And Canada has rolled out a new social credit score system that will see non-compliant citizens have their bank accounts frozen if their scores falls below acceptable levels. The aftermath of the trucker convoy, the Trudeau regime is radicalizing the nation's banking system to make it impossible for citizens to express their opposition to government tyranny. And proponents of the social credit score linked banking paradigm says it will make Canada banks more inclusive, allowing them to easily access user data on demand while being able to share information with one another. The World Bank partner called Open Banking Excellence, OBE. We talked about OBE on here. OBE, right? Open Bank Excellence, which originated in the United Kingdom, is proudly boasting right now that it will incorporate social credit scores with people's banking information in Canada. Canadians will likely receive digital cash and identification in a convenient, all-in-one inclusive place, just like our driver's licenses. Then they added our OHIP or our health card number. Then there's a driver's license, health card number, passport number. Then everything's on one ID, right? It's about having that fairer, more inclusive, more open society, said OBE founder Helen Child, making sure to use all the popular buzzwords to make her project sound like a dream come true for the world. And disturbingly, OBE already operates in 40 different countries, claiming that it aims to create exceptional platforms and content that promotes knowledge sharing, new thinking, and partnership within the industry, catalyzing the adoption of open finance and data for better financial inclusion worldwide. So this is forcing Canadians and others around the world to maintain a high social credit scores in order to buy and sell constitutes inclusivity and fairness remains unknown. OBE officials and other proponents and construct never really say. So they never really tell you what the deal is or what they're planning or how it works. They're just going to lay it out. Nobody voted for this shit. Nobody wants this shit. But they're just going to shove it down our damn throats, and they're going to punish us, penalize us, and destroy us because they feel that, and I felt that. I know how it feels. I know how this feels. Because I went to the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle to watch a hockey game. I couldn't buy my tickets because I had to digitally buy them, okay? I went into the ticket booth to buy them. They wouldn't give me physical tickets because they're Climate Pledge. So they couldn't give me physical tickets. And then they had to text message me my tickets. And then when we got there, my mom had to throw her purse in the garbage because it didn't fit in their little box for safety. So she had to take her stuff out of her purse, throw her purse in the garbage, and walk in with her stuff in her hand because they wouldn't let her come in with her purse. And then when I got there, I wanted to buy a damn water because my mom wanted to take her pills. I went up. They didn't accept cash. My Canadian debit and Visa card didn't work at the Climate Pledge Arena, so they couldn't sell me a water so my mom could take her pills. So I know how it feels like when they have control over you like this. So I had cash. The guy said, I can't sell you that water. Can you buy me the water on your debit or your Visa and I'll give you the cash? I'll give you $20. No, I can't do that. Of course you can't. Because it's humane. You can't do it because it's humane. This is unhuman. What they're doing to us is unhuman. human. Anyways, more in Canada. Let's keep going, Canada. Canada. Canadian credit card debt climbed 3 times the rate of mortgages, and people are over leveraging, and we've been warning about this. Canadian households are cooling on their borrowing, but the type of debt may be an important sign. Data shows household credit climbed at one of the slowest rates in decades in January. The slowdown was primarily caused by slower mortgage debt growth, with credit card debt rising 3 times faster. So people are not, this is what's happening. They're not borrowing against their homes. We've been calling this about people using their homes as ATM machines to withdraw money and using the equity in their homes slowly and feeding themselves. And now they're not borrowing from their homes anymore. Why? They're not borrowing from their homes because the equity's not there anymore. So now they're using credit cards to eat, right? They need credit cards to eat. And Toronto's overlords pondering implementation on rain tax. The City of Toronto plans to consult with water users in April about taxing based on the amount of hard surfaces on a property. What the hell does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what that means. That's already happening in Brampton, Ontario. Hard surfaces, driveway, roof. They'll calculate how much precipitation and rain and snow falls through the year, and they'll tax you on your surface that goes down to the drain. We had this on Trends in the Housing Market in 2014, where we had Steve the Plumber on, and we had Owen on the show in 2014, and they were talking about this already, how they're being taxed on the width of their driveway and their width of their roof, so they could tax you on rain drainage from rain. And that's what they're doing here. And now Toronto's going to implement it, and it's going to be implemented in a city near you, all over the Commonwealth. And Canada ranks 11th in OECD for life satisfaction, but young adults disagree. Yes, life in Canada is deteriorating, and the standard of living has been declining, especially in the last 2 years. And it goes into younger people. So the reason why I brought this up is because younger people cannot get into their own housing market. Younger people that were born, educated, and raised in Canada cannot get into their own markets. And that's why younger people have a dissatisfaction for the country because of this. Because this is major. And if you cannot buy real estate in a country you live in, then there's no point in living in the country anymore. Huh? And our socialized medicine is crumbling in Canada. Here's another story. Last week we covered the story about the woman that had a baby in the parking lot in Quebec because the hospital doors were locked. Well, look at this one. Abandoned on the side of the road, BC man says dispatcher told him to drive to the hospital after a stroke. And Buddy was on his way to pick up his parents from the airport when a coughing fit turned into something much worse. About 20 seconds later, it's like I got kicked right there, said French, pointing out the back of his head, but like inside. It happened March 13 during a rush hour traffic, just as he entered the tunnel around 80 kilometers per hour. He lost control and everything starts slopping and sloping and slopping and sloping, said the Tawasin resident. I couldn't stop. I couldn't see. The world was spinning. And the right side of his body, his left arm, basically half of his body was paralyzed. And basically what happened was the ambulance or the dispatch basically told him to drive himself to the hospital after receiving a stroke. And that's Canadian socialized medicine, hard at work for you here. And yeah.